Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're about to go live again on the Champions and Legends Weekly Warrior Happy Hour. So we are live, and there are lots of things to talk about today, and we're going to focus on some really cool things that the Champions and Legends has going on. Yes. All right. Looks like George is in the house. What's happening, man? And there's Crystal. Awesome. I'm waiting to let a couple people get on. Yes, indeed. Let me see here. Let me make sure we're good with our, yeah, there we go. The screen is in good shape. Excellent, excellent. Yes. So, and looks like Kiki is in the house. Yeah, all right. Well, welcome back to the Weekly Warrior Happy Hour. And I'm excited because I have some great announcements to share with you today. Yes, big time announcements to share. But let's just start off with who we are. We're here with Champions and Legends, supported by Champions and Legends. And Champions and Legends produces CBD-based sports supplements for athletic preparation, performance, and recovery. And I have something great to share with you guys, okay? So we've officially, yesterday, July 1st, Champions and Legends officially launched the website. Yes, and I'm gonna give you the address right now, championsandlegends.com. It was huge, and it is a beautiful, beautiful website. We're open for business now, so all the stuff we've been talking about on CBD and the different things that are going on, you can actually go to this website and purchase those products. So we're open for business, and that's awesome. Now this is another exciting thing that I want to share with you. We have athlete partners that I want to share with you who they are. Now, I've been talking about big announcements and things of that nature for a while now, and there's some of the Champions and Legends products, and I'm kind of teasing you a little bit with it, but we have signed as a partner two-time Super Bowl champ, James Harrison. That's right. This guy is a 5-time Pro Bowler. He's endured 15 seasons as a top-tier linebacker in the NFL. That is no joke. I would say, and I'm just saying it myself, and I hope I'm not jinxing him, but this guy's on his way to the Hall of Fame. So we're excited to have James Harrison as a partner on the Champions and Legends team. And now that's not all. We also have the strongest man in the world, Thor Bjornsson. That's right. In fact, he's also a star, TV star on HBO's Game of Thrones. He's the Mountain on Game of Thrones. This guy is not only huge, but he is a fantastic athlete. And, Champions and Legends, we're really proud to have these guys because they embody what we're about, integrity, hard work, and they both really subscribe to, working to be the best version of yourself wherever you are. And that's what this is all about. So those are two big announcements. I got more for you. But having James and Thor on our team is huge because these guys are all in, right? They've actually been using the Champions and Legends CBD products for a few months now, and their testimonies are gonna blow your socks off because these guys work out hard and they put their bodies through intense workouts. So we're excited to have them. Let's see, what else can I share with you? I got my little list here. Yeah, so I'm gonna save a couple of these things for later. But our guest tonight is been asked to come back several times by folks. Let's see here. Let me see. I got a question that just came in. Yeah. Okay. So our guest tonight is Dr. Crystal Hadnot, and she's a nutritionist and an athlete herself. And folks have had questions asking, when are you going to have the doctor back? And so I have Dr. Crystal Hadnot back today, and I'll share some more information about Champions and Legends products. I'll share a little bit more information with you on some of the other athletes that will be coming on board. But for now, let's bring on Crystal and let's talk health, wellness, and fitness. All right, there she is.
Hello.
Dr. Hadnot, for coming back.
No problem. I'm excited about being back.
Yes, exactly. And I know there are people that are on the live that are looking forward to seeing you and hearing from you again.
Okay.
Let me share something. I don't know if you heard earlier that we have some partners that have just signed on.
Yes.
That's James Harrison right there. Mean dude. Mean. Check him out. Yeah. Two-time Super Bowler. Right? So I'm excited to meet him one of these days, but he is on the team and have been using the Champions Legends product for quite some time now. And
great
testimonials I've been hearing is just like, boom, over the moon. So that's cool here. And then I'm not done yet. Do you recognize this guy?
Of course, the Mountain.
The Mountain, that's right. He's joined us. I was able to pull that clip from Game of Thrones, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to meet him right away, man. I'm making sure I don't say anything to insult this dude because he might show up and deal with me, right? So there's another shot of him, and there's our team right there of our new athletes that have just signed on to partner with us. So
nice.
We're excited about it.
Nice. That is exciting.
Right? So welcome back. And I have a bit of good news for you.
Drum roll.
I think one of the folks that was on one of your earlier calls just went on to Champions and Legends and purchased a couple of different products.
Oh, wow.
Went and got the soft gels because you were telling her that you mentioned the anxiety and sleep.
Yeah.
And she had been having some sleep issues, and she tried some different CBD products, but she was inconsistent with it. And then you came on and said, hey, look, you need to actually get in there and use the product.
Yeah.
And
you have to at least be consistent for, I tell people, anywhere between 21 and 30 days. Just like really get a regimen down pat.
Right. So she's really excited about it. And she just sent me a DM saying, she was looking forward to seeing when we were going to launch. And we were yesterday. And so she went in and purchased the products that she needed, which she did a cream. And I believe she did the soft gels for sure.
Oh, good.
But she definitely gave you credit for helping her click in.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah. So not only she thanks you, but I'm sure Champions and Legends is grateful as well.
Oh, that's a good thing to hear because I want everybody to feel good. I tell people, I want you to look good, feel good, move good. So that's the key.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to give you that little tidbit of love that came from one of our, I guess you could say viewers. Someone came on the live. I don't know, followers. I guess that would be a follower. So
wow, that's impressive.
It is, and that's what we're here for: is to give people good information and help them move to being the best version of themselves, right?
Yeah, and even if they're not an athlete, I tell people right now, we're all experiencing this, in quote, new normal. And in this new normal, our bodies are going through, I say, 4 different things: stress, our postures and our ergonomics are off, like that tech neck.
Let me sit up.
Yeah. Lack of mobility. And of course, everybody's doing the quarantine snacks. So that triggers those cortisone levels to get off. And when those and let me back up, because a lot of people think cortisones are bad, because you hear cortisones and immediately people think, belly fat, blah, blah, blah. Cortisone levels play a role in our body. It's
Right.
when they're not regulated. So our cortisones actually regulate inflammation, and it also regulates our immune system. So right now, everybody cortisone levels are probably hyper because of the 4 things I just mentioned.
Right.
Lack of mobility, posture, ergonomics, because we're all got that tech neck right now. And just real quick, I'm gonna share this with you. I'm actually gonna talk about it with a chiropractor friend of mine, but I was sharing with them, you know, everybody does know, like, your head alone weighs anywhere between 0 to 12 pounds on your body as far as pressure pounds.
Wow.
You tilt it just a little bit, and I mean, that's when you're looking at a screen, because you automatically, your cervical spine does a tilt when you're looking at a screen. Now, if you tilt it all the way down, like most people do when they're looking at a phone, 60 pounds. So imagine going to the gym and putting a 60-pound weight on your cervical spine. That's the amount of pressure that we're doing, which creates that inflammation, which is why we need an anti-inflammatory that's natural for our body, like a CBD.
Right. So that's where these headaches are coming from.
Yeah, it's like 60 pounds. Once you tilt it all the way down, which is what most people do, looking at the phone, that's like 60 pounds of pressure on your cervical spine.
Wow. And now, see, we've used the weight of my head. We're talking about, like,
somebody said your head is heavy anyway.
We're talking about
so that's even more so.
I'm breaking my neck.
That's even more so.
Right. And someone just chimed in and said that I have about a 50-pound head, baked it and laughed. Thank you.
Yeah. And then we have people that's on the whole opposite end of the spectrum, because we are in this new normal. People are like going heavy on the workouts, you know, just doing things that they never would have done before if they had to go into an office. They're adding extra pressure by saying, I'm gonna do this kind of workout and I'm gonna start this regimen, or take a lot of different other supplements that are not good for us, creating, once again, that cortisone levels to get not out of balance, unregulated, which controls inflammation as well as your immune system.
Man, there's a couple of different questions that have come up, and folks are asking, and they want you to answer these questions. And one of them is about sleep. Is there a food to eat that will help with the sleep process? I'm not sure, not to put you to sleep, but just, I'm sorry, digestion. I said sleep, but I meant digestion.
To help with digestive system?
Actually helps with the digestive system.
If you Google, things will pop up, and that's it's not like a magic pill that'll fix your digestive system. You have to really, and what I deal with when I'm working with my clients, we really deal with figuring out why your digestive system is malfunctioning in the first place. So you have to deal with the root cause. Now you can do things, you can take probiotics and help brings healthy, good bacteria to your gut. But if you have just an overdose of bad bacteria, I tell people it's the same thing as going for a workout, getting sweaty, but not taking a shower and just putting deodorant on.
Okay, wow. Okay, I hear that.
So you're adding those good bacteria, but if your gut balance is off, it's gonna alleviate the symptom for a little while, but you're gonna consistently have an issue. Right. So you have to deal with the root cause of the issue. Plus, I tell people probiotics is probably the cool kid that everybody's purchasing right now. But what they need to understand is that if you don't have the proper prebiotic to match the probiotic, it's like Batman and Robin. Like, they don't go for a mission without each other. Like, you'll never see Batman go on a mission out without Robin. So you can't take a probiotic without taking your prebiotic to support it.
Oh, okay. And
if you really want to go on a mission of fixing your gut, that's a start, but you really got to figure out what the root cause, which is causing your gut to be out of balance, or your gut microbiomes to be all jacked up.
Okay. You said microbiomes and it started.
So gut microbiomes. So let me back up. So gut microbiomes are all the little, like, your individual bacteria that's inside your gut, like your genealogy of your gut.
Okay. Okay.
So it's like your gut microbiome looks different from my gut microbiome. So that's why one person being on one diet doesn't work for the other person, or you have certain food sensitivities that I may not have because your gut microbiome is different from mine.
Right. So I'm gonna.
So it's kind of like I tell people your genetic code.
Okay. Gotcha.
Your gut genetic code, but it's bacteria.
Oh. Okay. There's a question that just came up about. There's two things. What foods hurt your gut, and then the other person just asked, "What are your thoughts on what is it? Diatomucus."
Go for it.
I'm trying. It's a whole nother word, you know, new language.
Okay, to answer the questions. What was the first question was,
what foods hurt your gut?
What foods hurt your gut? It depends. So everybody's sensitivities, like I said, are different. There are some traditional go-tos when you're trying to repair your gut that people focus on, which is those high inflammatory foods. We've talked about this before. And there's like a list of 30 foods that have inflammation within them. And the ones that probably are the worst that you hear people talk about a lot are your nightshade fruits and vegetables and herbs. Right. Nightshades just meaning that their photosynthesis process is different. So instead of growing under sunlight, they grow in the dark. So the top 5, I would say, of your nightshade fruits and vegetables and herbs are white potatoes, eggplant, bell peppers, tomatoes, cayenne pepper.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So those kind of like the top 5, I guess. Or is that 5? Yeah, top 5. And so I normally remove those items out of my client's gut when they come to me and we're trying to really repair their gut, because repairing your gut also takes about 60 to 90 days. And that's what people also have to realize. Like, there's not like this quick fix deal that you can do. Because then once you take it out, you got to repair it and rebuild your gut. Once you take out all the bad stuff, you have to build it back up. But like, if they're like really on the potatoes, like they're supplemental foods. You can, instead of potatoes, try cauliflower. Instead of eggplant, try mushrooms with your recipes. Instead of bell peppers, try celery. Instead of tomatoes, try beets or carrots. So there's a supplemental foods also that you can do in that process. So what was the other question?
The other question was diatomucus.
Spell it. What was that? I didn't see it.
Diatomaceous. Earth.
Something earth?
Yeah.
Or form.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but they asked the question, so I'm compelled to ask it.
No, so dietary earth, are they referring to the Japanese food?
Maybe. I don't know.
Who asked the question?
That was Kiki Rouge. Are they referring? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
What you're referring to, but Kiki, if you can kind of give us a little bit more construct on what that question is, we'll definitely try to get it answered for you.
It sounds like this, like it's a Japanese, if it is what I think she's referring to, it's a Japanese food that's kind of just like, what's the best way? It's like, what's the best way to describe it? Because it's like flaky. Oh, it's like it's a seafood, not a seafood, like.
But it's like it's like
of the ocean. I don't mean like seafood, like fish.
Yeah, so it'd be like seaweed or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Similar in that category, if that's what I'm not sure if that's what they're referring to, because I'm not sure.
Well, just to kind of round out the gut health conversation, now, in what I've learned,
it does come in a supplement form. I'm looking at someone else put something to help with the digestive, but it's an actual Japanese food. So that's what they're referring to. Yes.
okay, so it's a silica.
Yeah, it helps. It comes in a silicone and when it's in the supplement form, because of course in the US we put everything in the supplement form.
Okay.
Because it's and let me tell you why we do that. Because it's an unregulated industry, and we can put a little bit of what the real food is, or the real herb is, or the real mineral, and fill it with other stuff and sell it for cheaper. And you're not getting 100% of what the realness is.
So you really have to be reading and
I tell people always get to the original source if you can versus the supplement form.
I see. That sounds good.
But yeah, but that's what they're referring to. So yes.
Okay. So when you said
so it does help with your digestive system, but it still, like I said, if you're not dealing with the root cause, you're going to continue to just you can't. It's like having pain because you have cancer and just taking a Tylenol.
Okay. So
you still have cancer.
Right.
You just, the pain is going away from that ailment. So you really have to deal with your root issue, because there's something that's disrupting the gut or have your gut out of balance.
Okay. Now, in addition to being a topical, like CBD is also an ingestible. And I'm thinking, I did read that gut health has been a benefit of the CBD. So is that a matter of taking it over a long period of time, or is that an instant thing that it can help in that category?
No, so only if your gut issues are directly related to inflammation. Because remember when I was on there before, I said, inflammation is generally the root cause to most of our health ailments.
Right.
So if you look at heart disease, arthritis, most of your major, even cancer, it's the inflammation of that cell, that cancerous cell. So if you look at the root cause to most of our health ailments, it's inflammation. So a lot of times, most people are having inflammation of their gut. And if that's the case, the CBD will help limit the inflammation that exists within their gut.
Gotcha.
Overtaking it over time.
I see.
So that's kind of where it helps. And if you have inflammation in your gut, it directly affects your digestive system. Sometimes it presents itself as Crohn's colitis or Crohn's colitis-like symptoms, where a lot of people say, "Oh, I think I'm gluten intolerant," which is a symptom of Crohn's colitis.
So like lactose intolerance is another form of, or is that just an enzyme thing?
That's just yeah.
Okay. Just one.
Yeah, but it gives you, so when you have inflammation in the gut that presents himself as any gut issue like Crohn's colitis or even like with me with my autoimmune disease, or really any autoimmune disease, it's because you have a high level of inflammation that's presenting that problem. So if you control the inflammation in the gut with the CBD, because CBD actually is an anti-inflammatory supplement, it helps with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. That definitely makes sense, because when you're looking at some of the chronic inflammation discussions, that is really where you're having to attack it from all angles, from your
and your gut plays a major role in all of it. I tell people, because a lot of times what happens is a lot of people end up having any chronic pain or chronic ailments, and it creates a level of stress on the body that then indirectly affects the way your gut process.
I see. So that makes more sense to me in understanding that process, because with me, like now that I'm starting to get under control some of my physical, like my knee issue or shoulder, I need to really start working on what's going on the inside, right? So I'm really anxious to get some more information from you. In fact, one of the guests from last week, it was Chubala. he actually said that he wanted to talk to you about meal preparation and that. So I know that you do some that type of thing. So just wanted to pass on another lead that folks were asking about.
Yeah.
So how does meal prep help in sort of your overall health? Because it seems like having that sort of regimen and not like all over the place gives you an idea of how to control things.
Well, first it brings awareness more than anything. You become more aware of what you're eating. One of the things when people come to me for a consultation, I said, tell me what a typical day looks like as far as intake, both liquid and foods. When you meal prep, you have more awareness of what your body is intaking versus if you're just picking up food along the day. You may not remember exactly everything you had because you're just grazing and picking up things randomly.
Right.
Where it first brings you just more awareness in general to what you're eating, and gives you some level of structure. And we all know you have more success when you have some level of structure. Because you can meal prep unhealthy food. You can prep it, and it can be unhealthy, but it's still bringing that level of awareness of what you're eating and providing you some level of structure. Because most people's issue is having some level of structure around food, especially during times like now when your day may not be as structured or as normal as what you used to over the years.
Right.
It may be some level of instability. Having that structure in what you're intaking is important, even more so important.
Okay.
Or some people just don't like to cook.
Some people just don't like to cook. This COVID,
or they run out of options. Because I come to a lot of people, they be like, well, what do you eat? And they think, healthy foods only fit in this one category. So they don't really have options. So it's really it's basically teaching yourself over about food.
right.
Like a lady asked me, it was like, yeah, I had this new food. I was like, first of all, there's no such thing as new food. Food been around for thousands of years. The new food, that means it's been built in somebody's lab, which means it's not a food. So just understanding that there's a vast variety of foods and recipes that can be healthy and ways that you can prep food. Because I tell people, food is not the enemy. It's what we do to food that makes it the enemy.
Right.
All foods are really pretty much good for you. It's just that how you prep it and what you put on it and what you do to it, and if you're killing the nutrients out of it by overcooking it and etc.
Yeah.
He said, I love okra.
Okay, so yeah, Michael just asked, is okra good for you?
I don't classify food as being good or bad for you. Like I said, it's how you eat it. Now, if you eating fried okra, you didn't took all the nutrients out of it and all the minerals out of it.
Right.
So I would tell you to either roast it, or if you like it fried. My clients that just have to have some things with that. It's a texture thing for them. Get your air fryer, and roast it or air fry it.
Right.
But fried, no. But if you don't like it fried, so yeah. So okra is fine. Just don't overcook it to where it's like completely just become slime, because I see people do that where they cook it so much to where it's almost liquefied and then overcook the okra. So the closer you keep the okra to its natural state, then the more nutrient dense it is.
Got you. Well, I personally like okra. Looks like one of the other guests out there likes okra, but the air fryer you mentioned is something that's new to my life, and I've been air frying. I made some what do they call baked potatoes, man, this last week, and it was like, wow, phenomenal. So anyway, that's another sideline conversation, but yeah, the air fryer is a thumbs up for me. You also
I don't really cook food, so I like my food raw. I'm crazy like that. But we talked about that.
Right.
I don't have to cook food.
When
I go out, I'll eat it cooked, but at home,
it's raw.
For the most part. I would say 95% of the time, the food I have at home is raw.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, someone just asked about alkalinity. Have you
And
spoke?
as it relates to food, as it relates to water, as it relates to your body.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of different ways you can look at it. Um,
Yeah. Because a
that's a
lot
good.
of people, when you say alkalinity, they immediately go to alkaline water,
Okay.
which drinking alkaline water is not going to change the pH levels of your body.
Right. Okay. Okay.
It's a good marketing ploy, though, especially if you're buying it from the shelf in a plastic container.
I see.
Because
So how about?
plastic, if you go back to chemistry, plastic changes the pH levels of whatever you're holding it in. Like, I have no plastic. I don't buy stuff in plastic or store things in plastic in my house.
Oh, so plastic, like say alkaline water in a
If you
plastic.
buy it in a plastic container, it's already dropped. Say for instance, it, on there it reads 9 pH level.
Right.
The pH level is already decreased by placing it in plastic. And then the longer it's been on the shelf and sitting at whatever temperature, it decreases in pH levels. But he was referring to, he said, food and body.
Right.
So I tell people it's a thing as being too acidic, and it's a such thing as being too alkaline. So the key is to maintain a balance when it comes to alkalinity.
Okay.
I did a post the other week of talking about too much of a good thing. Like, you can overdrink water, you can take too many vitamins. Your pH levels are the same way. So you want to kind of play in that 7 range. When you get to 9, your immune system is no longer protected. Like your grandma used to say, a little dirt won't hurt.
Yeah.
It's true, because you need a little bit of bacteria. Like,
Uh-huh.
you don't want to completely clean yourself of bacteria. So, and it is, and science have proven that food, high alkalinity food, and when you say high alkalinity food, all I'm referring to is majority like raw fruits and vegetables, vegan lifestyle. So those are the higher alkalinity foods. Research has proven that, for decades on decades,
Hmm.
that a diet in higher alkalinity does have better health benefits overall, and longevity and vitality. So if that's the question, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Your body, just like your food, your, like anything, needs to be at a certain level to meet some level of performance,
right.
like to perform at a high level. So basically, when your body is in a balanced pH balanced level, and you're not
Hmm.
too acidic or too alkaline, you're going to perform at a better, higher octane level. So
Okay.
your body is not going to overwork, which that's where vitality and aging and all that
Mhm.
stuff comes to play. So you age better when you have a more alkaline diet. You have more vitality. You have better mobility. You just have an overall better lifestyle, high quality of life.
So with the COVID situation, it's really good to increase the alkalinity right now with people being in a sedentary situation.
Long as they don't overdo it. That's what I tell people. That's what I try to preach people, because I had 5 clients that were in the ER in the last 2 weeks,
Oh, wow.
because we overdo it, and we're over consumers. That's just natural in US. We
Right.
overdo good. Like, you have to it's always about balance. Like,
Balance.
cortisone is good, but you can't have too much cortisone. Inflammation is good, but you can't have too high levels of inflammation. So
Right.
you always have to make sure you're maintaining a balance. You can't because people go out and buy. To me, it's like yin and yang. You need it.
Right.
So you have to make sure you maintain a balance. Your body needs. That's why if you eat, like for me, I'm mostly eating raw, so my food is probably either, for the most part, is room temperature, but sometimes it may be cold. But if I consistently eat food at a certain temperature for so long, it creates an imbalance in my system where that's where cravings come. And you wonder why you're craving a certain food, because you're threw yourself out of balance. So I may start craving hot food because I've overdid it on cold, because your body needs a balance of both.
Right. So when I'm craving cookies,
no.
Okay, it's not the same thing.
When you're craving cookies, it can be one or two things. So if you're craving cookies, I always ask when my clients have like these deep-seated cravings, I was like, tell me about the time you first had, what's your favorite cookie?
I like chocolate chip cookies and oatmeal.
What was the youngest memory you can remember having a chocolate chip cookie? What were you doing?
I was a good boy, and mom gave you
some chocolate chip cookies,
exactly.
Right? So the last time you had a chocolate chip cookie, what was going on in your life? You felt like you had a good day, probably. Yeah, or a bad day. Sometimes it's tied to an emotion. A craving is tied to an emotion or a feeling.
Right.
So it's just now the adult version. Like, oh, I had a good day. I did good on my diet. Now I deserve a cookie.
Right.
Same thing. When you were a kid, you did good at school. Your mom awarded you with that cookie.
Right.
But it also can be that you have a balance in a certain mineral.
Well, that's true. And if
you have a vitamin deficiency or a mineral deficiency, it also creates sweet cravings. When you have an electrolyte imbalance, it can create a sodium craving. So it could be that your body is also trying to tell you that you have also an imbalance or a deficiency.
So you said something about sleep cravings.
He says sweet cravings. Yeah, sweet cravings can be easily attached to, depending on what the sweet is, attached to a certain vitamin or mineral deficiency.
All right. Well, let me. I'm going to turn the corner here a little bit, Doc. Cannabis, hemp, has been around for 3,000 years, and in fact, it's been used for health. It's been around. Exactly. It's been around for, and through the miracle of modern medicine, CBD is now extracted from that industrial hemp, right? And everybody all over the world right now is loving it because they're seeing the benefits in pain and inflammation control, anxiety management, sleep regularity. And we talked about this already, maybe gut health. So, it's like something that's been around for generations of popularity, and it's sort of like been kind of stamped down in the US, but now it's having a resurgence, of course, being that the THC, the hallucinogenic element of it, has been kind of taken out of the play, but then we can focus on the, is it 120 plus different natural chemicals that are in the hemp plant that actually are very, very good for you. So, I said a lot, but I just wanted you to maybe talk a little bit about that because, wow. It's sort of like a revolution for CBD at this point.
Yeah, we are. And I just have to say, because people have heard me who talked about CBD before, THC is not a bad thing. So put that disclaimer, because people always say, because I believe in hallucinogenics for other therapy purposes.
Oh, okay.
But that's a whole nother discussion.
That's a whole nother
But as it relates to the product, yes, it is. It has tons of benefits, but you have to also realize that we live in the U.S. We live in a society, which is, if y'all don't know it by now, by what's all going on, we live in a society where healthcare is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Right.
Next to that is guns and tobacco.
Wow.
So if you introduce something like CBD to a world when your top industries are healthcare, guns, tobacco, it's going to
Right.
kill two of those industries.
Right. And the healthcare piece, you know, I mean,
So
it's really
it's going to kill tobacco and healthcare. We're a capitalistic society. For us to function, we can't afford to put a stamp on approval federally, you know, on something like that, because it can cause damage to an economic system.
Yes. No, I agree with you, and I think that has a great deal to do with it. However,
Yeah.
I think the cat is out of the bag, though. You know what I mean? I think people are.
There's a lot of when I first actually started my business, I did research studies with MD Anderson with cancer patients, and we were specifically focusing on alternative medicine as it relates to cancer patients. And I helped them with nutrition and Pilates, movement therapy.
Oh, wow.
And the other thing that they focused on was CBD, as far as looking at case studies where they had a control environment using it, and a control environment, of course, thinking they're using it, but it's not, you know, it was the placebo. But research have shown, even, I mean, this have been like a 20-year study that's now out. And if you go to MD Anderson today, they have a huge alternative medicine care specifically set up for people who come in as patients, specifically for, it used to be specifically for breast cancer patients, but now it's for other cancer patients at MD Anderson, where they really have a huge alternative medicine focus, where they're doing Tai Chi, they're doing yoga, they're doing Pilates, and it's free for the patients. And some of the classes, like, you can do Tai Chi for free over there and not have cancer.
And then I also have heard, you know, I've actually participated in sound therapy.
In sound therapy. So they're heavily focused on methods of care that's not necessarily traditional in the U.S. It's a lot of, you know, Eastern European, Eastern and Asia, Middle East type of therapies that they really focus on.
Okay.
And it's like old ancient medicine that's not new. I mean, we've been knowing about it. It just have not been what we used in our form of healthcare and wellness in the United States. It's new for us.
I see.
But these therapies have all been around for thousands of years.
Right. Someone just asked about the Champions and Legends line, and they were asking, you know, what different forms it comes in, and the Champions and Legends.
I have my favorites.
Well,
I have my favorite
whole range. So the Champions and Legends supplements come in, you know, easy to use forms like tinctures, and can be mixed with food and drink. And it also comes in creams where it's a topical, and they can be applied directly to the place where the sore joints or muscles are. So you can find everything if you just go to championsandlegends.com, and you'll see all the different products and descriptions of their use. So it's really cool. So I hope that answered y'all's question on that.
Yeah, and I would actually suggest people, for me and my own personal use in therapy, I have, and I say personal use, I don't mean just because I just like, let me get some CBD. When I say personal, I just mean me individually. I'm an athlete who has autoimmune diseases, plural. So CBD has been a part of my therapy, and one of the only reasons why I've been able to continue to be athletic. I use the tincture. So I normally and the tinctures are really, really good for individuals who are having sleep and anxiety issues. Because I had one of my autoimmune is Graves, which means like my body is on go, and it's hard for my body to calm down.
Right.
So normally before bed, I put 3 to 5 drops under my tongue. And so those have been helpful. And then for my running that I do to make sure that my rheumatoid arthritis don't flare up, I use the actual creams in the spaces where I normally have inflammation that may set in for my rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay. Well, Champions and Legends is a full spectrum.
Yeah.
You use full spectrum?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. I tell people always make sure you get full spectrum and make sure you look at your milligrams as well. Don't go to these, there's a lot of pop-up shops that are saying CBD shops, but you have to be careful of the quality that you're getting. It's just like painkillers. You have 500 milligrams, you have 1,500 milligrams, you have 1,000 milligrams. It's important to know what type of milligram, and that is full spectrum.
Right. Well, the thing is, what I've also found is that people are buying an isolate, which has none of the other factors that are in the cannabis or hemp plant. And it's isolated, and they give these high milligrams of CBD by itself when it doesn't have.
No, so if you look at it, it's not high milligrams of CBD. It's high milligrams of hemp. So people have to read, just like when I tell my clients to read the nutritional values, that's labels that are on your foods, you have to do the same thing with your CBD product. If you look at it, those milligrams are high levels, and it'll say it, hemp, not CBD.
Right.
When it's an isolate, it has a lot of hemp. So you're just buying a bunch of hemp oil.
Right. So that's the thing. You have to really take the time to look at the ingredients and make sure that you're looking for a full spectrum.
Yeah, otherwise just go to Amazon if you want some hemp oil for $5. But that doesn't have the healing properties and the modalities that we're talking about.
Right. And that's what I was getting at, just getting to that, the healing properties that are in a full spectrum is really where the benefit really lies for folks.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, that's golly. I mean, we could go on because you really have a great wealth of knowledge. But I want to talk about something here that it catches my eye when I go to your page all the time, and it's your T-shirts.
I got one on now.
You have one on now. Now the one in the orange, if y'all can't see it, it says "Got toxins," and it says "Let us detox." I love that. Tell me about the T-shirts.
So, okay, this is what happens when you grow up and your dad's an artist. So there's a few things I did growing up that probably natural kids didn't do. One thing is that my dad always made us, I know a lot of kids grew up with their parents maybe reading to them bedtime stories. My dad made us draw a picture and write a story to connect with the picture.
Oh.
And we had to make T-shirts. My dad's still making T-shirts to this day.
Oh.
So it was kind of just like first of all, like messing with my dad, like, hey, I can make T-shirts too. And just by the way, my dad's coming out with his T-shirt line officially this month, so I'm excited for him. But he used to be a designer for like the old school OP, and so we just grew up making. It's a big deal. It's a big deal, yeah.
That's a big
but so I just grew up around creating shirts, and so for me it was like, okay, I was like thinking of just different things that I wanted to start talking to people about on Instagram, and that's where the quotes came from. I was like using, my creative side, I really think is more so come with words. I'm creative when it comes to words, and so I use that creativity side to create T-shirts because I really believe art is therapy. So it was kind of like my therapy, so I wouldn't fall into this depressed state during COVID time. So yeah.
Hey, a lot of people have fallen into a depressed state.
Yeah, and art is always a way that kind of pulls me out. So the T-shirts were a part of that mindful therapy for me. And at the same time, I was able to catch people's attention and to talk about different nutrition topics that I wanted to talk to people. Because I noticed that I would post information, like nutrition information, and maybe it was a little bit too scientific, but they would comment like, "Girl, I like your hair." I'm like, "Did you read my message?" So it was a way for me to kind of start the conversation. I was like, obviously people are paying attention to the picture and not the caption. So let me draw them in with the picture to maybe look at the caption. So that's where that came from.
Okay, that's tight though. That's tight.
Yeah.
That's a good hook. Well, listen, Doc, we've already gotten to the end of our time together today, and you know, we have a long weekend ahead, and I just want to wish you the best, and thank you so much for taking time, making time, and doing time on the Weekly Warrior Happy Hour.
Yeah, and also I want to just share with you guys, I launched my summer detox program.
Yes.
Yeah, so I am really big on teaching people how to properly detox their bodies seasonally, not just eating seasonally, but cleaning your body seasonally, because there's different parts, different organs, different parts of your body that detox better in certain seasons. For instance, we just closed out the spring detox, which focused on gut and mouth detoxing. The summer detox specifically focuses on your kidney and liver as far as your organs, but also your skin. That's why a lot of people end up having skin inflammation sitting in their skin and skin problems during the summer when they really think it's the heat, but that's actually the time when our body is detoxing the most through our skin is in the summer months. And so that just launched on my site. So I'm super excited. It's a 20-way detox program where you're walk away with at least 10 different types of ebooks, recipes, and you get a chance to hear from me from 21 days.
Okay. Well, you know, and
Been
I'm sure
21 days with me.
about that. And you know, I'm sure people are excited about that, getting to see you for 21 days and enjoy not only getting knowledge, but you're fun to be around. So that makes it all the better. So thank you again. And I'm looking forward to another time when you can come and grace us with your presence.
Not a problem. I'm here.
All right. Well, congratulations again on your new venture and your new program. And wow, I may need to tap into some of that myself.
Yeah, so, it's completely virtual, so you can do it
from wherever I am. Okay.
From wherever you are, you can do it wherever you are.
Well, thank you again, Doctor, and we will talk to you soon. All right?
All righty. Talk to y'all soon.
Okay, bye-bye. That was amazing, as she is. And I truly appreciate her taking time to hang out with us on the Weekly Warrior Happy Hour. Now, once again, I want to share with you that Champions and Legends has dropped the website. It is on and popping. You got to go in there. There's a lot of great information about CBD. There's great information for athletes trying to figure out what to do with the CBD products that can help them be the best version of themselves. And it's fantastic. You just have to go in, and you can also get product, of course. That's what it's there for. So you can also, when you go in, put your email address in so that you can enjoy the contest where prizes and gifts and swag and different things are going to be made available to the winners. But you got to be in it to win it, right? So drop your email in there. Now here's a few more announcements. Now, as you know, we have athlete partners that are off the chain. James Harrison and Thor Bjornsson, the strongest man in the world, and football great James Harrison. But that's not all. We have actually, over the next, July 15th, August 1st, and August 15th, we're going to be dropping a few more athletes, a bunch more athletes actually, joining the partnership team. And again, athletes and professionals don't just do this stuff arbitrarily. They don't come and team up with this type of product, this type of team arbitrarily. You know, they've actually been using the product, and through the testimonies from these athletes, that's how the partnership is brought together. So we're excited about that. And you just got to stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. Go to championsandlegends.com and join the website, join the team for that matter. And then you can also keep following us here on Instagram at Champions and Legends. And we're going to be having more and more guests. I got some guests coming up that you're going to be like, whoa, some legends, some real legends are going to be on the Weekly Warrior Happy Hour in the coming weeks. So thank you again for joining me. And, hey, have a great week, have a great weekend, and stay positive and keep striving to be the best version of yourself. There's the Champions and Legends products. And again, we'll see you soon. Cheers.